Well, welcome to Drunk Comics. We're here with my long lost and now not lost second cousin Anna. Welcome,
Cheers.
Anna. Cheers. Do you want to tell me something about yourself? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No worries. Um, well, I'm a millennial from Florida,
From Florida now.
and I like wheat beers, a good mild wheat beer every now and then. It's good. Mhm.
And what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about Hawkeye.
Yes.
Yeah, Hawkeye, the sort of like updated version of Hawkeye that I'm
All
really
right.
excited. Mhm.
Show me the book.
All right, so I right here I just have the one, and you have like the original one, but this is one of the editions of it. This is called the Tape. It's a two-parter. And so these are, we do the official, like, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, became the first sharpshooter known to man. He then joined the Avengers. This is what he does when he's not being an Avenger. This is all useless information, by the way. You've already finished the comic. I have, but maybe you haven't, so I don't know. But I know that you have. So this is basically, I would say, would it be fair to say it's an interpretation of Hawkeye, like
I
by
mean,
Matt Fraction and Javier Pulido as the artist?
basically all comics are reinterpretations of characters. I feel
Yeah. Hmm.
like they're all canon. Well, okay, some of them are outside of canon, some of them have been rebooted and retconned out. But yeah, so it's Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, literally.
Yeah. So it's his. He owns this, and
Marvel might beg to differ, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, right. Marvel. If we own it, we gave him approval to reinterpret this
Yes.
character of Clint Barton and Kate Bishop.
And he did so magnificently, we
Hmm.
must say.
Yeah, I really, really like these. I was so excited when you introduced me to them. So the date of this one. This is Hawkeye number 4. It's March 2013. Um, I was dug in by the time I got to number 4. I was like, I love these.
You're welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
No, thank you for reading them. Like, I'm so happy that you got hooked because
Mhm.
they're great.
I dig it. Yeah. So all right. So the Tape part 1. And I don't know how to. The thing about comic books and reading it in print on paper, no one's reading it to you. It's not animated.
Yep.
It's not live. There's no voice. I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's Operation Eucrita.
I have no idea.
I
We'll
have
go
no
with
idea.
that.
And there are going to be other words that I don't know how to pronounce.
Operation.
Right? Because unlike everything else in my life that I do through audiobook or podcast and, and music that I listen to on the radio, this I had to read words and I could be pronouncing them wrong. So
If you
apologies.
had to assign a song to this issue, what song would you give it?
Oh, I love that question.
Thank you.
Um,
I feel like it would have a banging soundtrack.
what kind? It would have a really awesome soundtrack.
Yeah, don't you
Yeah,
think? I don't know
absolutely.
what song either, but I feel like it would have a banging soundtrack.
Yeah. I've I've been listening to a lot of like electronic stuff. Sigur Rós is the Icelandic electronic band.
Oh.
And I've been watching some of their like YouTube in the background while I'm doing work. They have these like 4-part videos where they had their music playing while someone's like driving a vehicle all around the coastline of Iceland. And they recorded it. So it's like a 24-hour odyssey through their music and around the coastline of Iceland. It just makes you feel like you're traveling somewhere while you're indoors. It was recommended on a podcast. So what?
We need that right now.
Yeah, we need to be like out doing this. This is part of this is like reaching out to the world and doing other things. So I'm thinking about music like that, something that's really like electronic and you don't really know where it's going and it's kind of meandering. That's kind of what Hawkeye feels like.
I feel like that's very fitting, and now I need to look up that video.
Your link for it. And it's 9 hours long. And then there are 3 more parts that add up to 24 hours. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to look
if you're doing work and you want something on in the background.
Which, yeah, I need. So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the tape.
Mm-hmm.
1 of 2. All right. So the
Such a good storyline. I keep interrupting you.
It's fine. I wanted to like reread them right before and do my due diligence. But I just sort of like skimmed again. But
that's not what Drunk Comics is about.
Okay.
It's about half-missing things, let's be honest.
So I'm going to give you like the Cliff Notes version of it. But comics are so visual. So it's like, what?
Pun intended?
Cliff Notes version. Yeah. Totally pun intended. I dig it. All right. So so from page 1, you're like, it's kind of got this mystery format where like you're shown an image from the middle to end of the story and you don't know how you got there. And that's one thing I also like about this series is that it's like Hawkeye, like Cliff is being caught in is being caught in like situations that he doesn't know how he got there. And he's just like, let me tell you, let's back up and let me tell you how I got in this situation. I like that kind of narrative.
I like that narrative too.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not overused, but.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this, the image that you open on that you don't know how he got here is basically him at the doorway of a hotel room, maybe, and there's a man who is like wrapped up in sheets with 2 women, and he's been struck through the eyes by Hawkeye's arrows, and he's fallen backward. And so you don't know, I didn't know whom this person was and why Clint presumably killed him. And then the question underneath is asking like, you ever kill anybody, Clint? And what I like about this as compared to like my introduction to Hawkeye was admittedly in the Avengers films. I didn't know much about him as a character. Right. And I liked his edginess in those films. And there's no like overt, hitting someone through the eyeballs in those films. It's not really for all audiences.
Right, because they got to appeal to the families.
Yeah, yeah. So this kind of immediately strikes you as like, this is something different. And then we don't know where that came from, but then we're finding ourselves on the rooftop of his apartment building. And so at this point in the story, Clint is an Avenger. Like, this isn't his backstory. This is like, he's full on in the Avengers, but he's living his life in New York City with tenants in a building that he lives nearby, neighbors. And Kate Bishop is in his life at this point. She's essentially his roommate / I don't know, what would you say? She's like his, I don't want to use the word, but
I wouldn't say sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, psychic is definitely not the word. Protege?
Like, yeah, does he even
protege is not quite the word.
Right. And at this point, he knows what she's capable of, maybe?
Yeah, sometimes she kind of keeps him on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, yeah. Like, he might think of her as his ward, I guess. Like, he wants to keep her as a young woman, like, heading down a good path and just, like, not get into the trouble that he's gotten into.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks he's doing for her, but it's really the other way around, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. So they're on the rooftop of the apartment building, and he's being asked that question. Did you ever kill anybody, Clint? Because all of his neighbors kind of know. Maybe, like, they want to know more about his backstory as an Avenger. And he just downplays everything. Like, no, like, he doesn't overtly deny anything. He just skirts every question, drinks his beer.
Yep.
Um, keeps things to himself. So he's trying to just have a barbecue with his neighbors. And then the giant ship that is the Avengers like hovers over the apartment building.
Way to keep a low profile, Clint. You
Yeah.
failed that one.
Like, come on, guys. Like, no, what are you doing? So they're there now, and he and Kate get no, just him. He just gets taken up into the ship. They don't know anything about Kate at this point, I don't think. Like, there's no like connection that I'm aware of.
I think they know.
But they know everything. The Shield knows everything.
Yeah. And prior to this, Kate was in the Young Avengers, and she was mentored by actually Jessica Jones.
So that's how her skills really grew before she. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you the. I'm gonna have to get you into the Young Avengers books because those are really good too.
Yeah, I would like that.
Gotta get Kate Bishop fixed because everything Kate Bishop is golden.
Yeah, I hope to be like her someday when I grow up. Yeah. So now Clint is on the ship with, and he's like, what's going on? Why did you guys come here? I'm just trying to hang out, and it. What is her name? The agent of Shield.
Maria Hill.
What is it?
Maria Hill with the short hair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So lovely, played by our Robin from.
Yep. Robin. Just call her Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Like, she has a name. She's an actress. She's a person, but I don't know it. So, all right. And Captain America, with his like classically drawn, the A on his chest and like the little like wings above his ears. Like,
gotta fly.
He's got to.
Yeah, because he doesn't like parachutes, so he's gotta have the wings to fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, Captain America doesn't actually fly, but you know what? He's got the wings.
Like, I was going along with you, but I was.
No, he can actually fly, but
yeah,
we'll go with it.
That would be so much. Be like, everybody can fly. Yeah, so they're like at a table with him, and they're like, basically, okay, we brought you up here because the record of Operation Eucrisa. We don't know how to pronounce. And he's like, how did this happen? There shouldn't be a tape of this. We don't know what this is. They give us a lot of backstory, and essentially, it's like you got to get that tape from whomever has it, and we'll help you figure that out. So he goes back home. He tries to make a cover story for where he's been with Kate, and now he's got to leave the country and go to a place called Madripoor. Is that a real place?
That is a real place. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not familiar with it.
I'm almost positive that's a real place, but now I'm questioning it. So we're going to have to Google it later.
Mm-hmm. I think I did when I first read this.
You don't remember the results of that Google?
Yeah. I mean, I work hard and then I drink a beer and read a comic, and it's not the best way to like deeply encode what I'm reading. But that's why I read comics.
Yeah, you don't read comics to learn geography.
Right. To Madripoor. So now we're in Madripoor in this location, which I get the impression that it is, if it is a real place, it is not depicted as if it's a real place, because it's just giving you this vague impression that it's somewhere in Asia, which is, it's not specific. But you see skyscrapers.
Just like one small country, like Africa is a small country. Asia's
very which is, I could get a little critical if it were, because it's like, it's colorful backgrounds, and then it's like letter, like signs with what look like they could be character based language. It could look a little stereotypical if it were a real place. I would be like, why aren't you specifically using a particular language? So I don't know, but that's that. Okay, I'll get off that cultural conversation. Okay, so here he is. So he's in this place. He's got to get this tape. He's got to get his hands on it. So he gets a taxi, and then almost immediately the taxi driver turns on him and tries to take his wallet, and he's like, what? And he has to defend himself. And that's part of what I really love about the way this is drawn, is that even something like a scuffle like this is just frame by frame really interesting to look at, and that's pretty cool.
The artist in this is so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So stylized, so like recognizably unique. Sorry, go on.
It's so thoughtful. No, I mean, please. Yes. Love it. And it's like anytime he gets into a conflict, it's got a very accidental feel to it. Like he's like, oh, okay, I have to defend myself again here. And like, he's not an instigator.
I love like one of the first issues where it's like he's naked and they cover him with the Hawkeye mask.
You have that. If I had it, you have that one. I don't have it, but
I will put that visual.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna splice that visual into this. Thomas and I played this Marvel Puzzle Quest game, and they had Hawkeye as one of the characters, and one of his moves, that was the visual for the move, was him flying across the screen naked with the Hawkeye mask covering his junk. And I laughed every time it happened. I'm like, that is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's always in trouble in some uncomfortable position. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he manages to, overcome this taxi driver and all the other people who just randomly attack him, and he doesn't really know why. And then he's in the driver's seat of the taxi cab. There you go. Yeah, so he finds his way through. He gets to where he needs to go, and of course, here's where it's like it's kind of an unveiled 007 parallel here, that he ends up in a casino in some unspecified Asian country. Yeah. It's called the Madripoor Pearl.
By the way, I looked it up. Madripoor is made up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was bugging me. So I was like,
I thought I saw you looking down. I was like, she's looking this up right now. She's Googling it right now.
Not as slick as I think I am.
Yeah. I think it's funny because I think maybe they think if they make it up, they won't be offensive. Which, okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay. So he's there, standing out like a sore thumb, not just because he's clearly a white guy, but he's in like this very bland brown suit in the middle of like a classy casino.
Jeez, so Clint, get your shit together.
Yeah, never. He never has anything together.
That's why we love him.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I didn't know that about him. Like this is this interpretation that I wouldn't have expected. I think in my expectation of him was that he was fairly controlled, and that he would joke about his past, but that it wasn't a thing of chaos, or I don't know, and that his current life is very different in the films. Like, as a wife and kids, and he's like, living the good life now.
Yeah, he's very different from the comics, which is a hot mess.
Are they all like
that? To be honest, I haven't read all of the Avengers and all the Avengers comics to know for sure. I'm definitely more of a DC girl, so I can't say.
Okay.
But I think the movie Hawkeye is not completely like comic Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what movie? Oh, the version of him in the movies, not like
In the movies.
I was about to be like, there's a whole movie about him because I missed it in all 17 movies that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like his 20 minutes of screen time across all
Right.
17 movies.
Right.
Because basically,
Yeah.
Poor Hawkeye. Like,
Save some time to process like what happens to his character in the movies at the end. But this is like, okay, so we're at the climax here where he's been discovered in his very bland brown suit at the casino, and he's brought to the person who's behind all of this, who claims they have the tape, and it's Madame Mask. Madame Mask, and I'm like, okay, who's this person in a mask? And one of those masks that like looks way more like a face than you would expect. And like shows all the contours of the face. Not a convincing mask, really. So
Madame Mask, she stands out because she's in a mask unlike all those other characters in comic books.
Right. It's yellow. It's mysterious. I don't know. But her outfit looks less like a villain than you would expect, than you would think. It's very, I don't know, almost superhero looking.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Okay, so they go back and forth about this tape issue. I don't find myself in that part of it, but it's kind of cool. They end up at this auction, and it's like an auction among bad guys. And so it's really kind of interesting visuals of like all these different really shady looking characters bidding on this tape.
I like that part too.
Yeah, I found that, and I found myself like really looking at all of them and like, who are these ridiculous looking characters? And then like, what, whatever's going on. Meanwhile, he's strapped to a chair in another room trying to escape. So the bidding.
I'm gonna strap you down after I explain my plan, and you're totally not gonna escape. Barton, Clint Barton.
So original. No one has ever thought to have that. So a whole arc, totally original. Yeah. Yep. I really do like it, though. I know we're talking on it a little bit, but I like it.
Oh, God. All right. No, I love comic books because you know what? It doesn't have to be original. It puts the characters in settings that are familiar enough that it's like comforting because you kind of know how it's going to go, but it's also, and it's the characters that you know and love and you know how it's going to go, but it's also interesting enough to keep you reading.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you want to know who she is. You want to know how he gets out of this. And that's enough. That you really, we are not, as humans, we don't need incredibly complicated stories.
Exactly. I agree.
And she has the tape. It's a VHS tape, by the way. I don't know if I made that clear or showed you the image.
I feel like the cover made that clear, but it's so much funnier that it's a VHS.
Yeah, and this is written in 2013, so that's really interesting. That it's a VHS tape. That I wonder how many young people picking up this comic know what that is. Oh my god, I just sounded so old. Okay, so
are old. Well, you're not as old as I am.
I don't think about your age.
Oh, thank you.
You're timeless.
I love you for that. Thank you.
Cheers.
I love the sound effect.
Mm-hmm. It's on my lamp.
I was a little late, so we need to do it again.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh. Let's try that again next time.
Yeah, sorry. I'm slow on the uptake. I think it's because I've had a lot of wine.
Yeah, that'll do that. It slows the body down.
It's good stuff that way.
Yeah. Okay, so she's gets the tape at the auction, sold to Madame Masks for the startling price of 1 billion euros.
1 billion euros.
Billion.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's with the pinky.
She wins. She wins the tape at the auction. Um, and she's awarded this tape and told, "May God have mercy on Clint Barton's soul. I suspect you won't."
Oh snap.
And she says, "I don't believe in God, but the thought is nice." Wow. So there's that. Okay, so she takes it. All right. She tells everyone to leave her alone. She's got the tape. And the final page, what do we see? But the reveal of whom Madame Mask is. Who Madame Mask is. My grammar. Okay, so, all right. We're like, oh, that's her. Oh, okay, who is that?
Who is it? Who is it?
It's Kate.
Oh
It's Kate
yeah.
Bishop. And
Spoiler.
yes, she has tied up the real Madame Mask, but notice she's still got her mask on. She's tied her up and put tape over the mask. She has not demasked Madame Mask. So we still don't know who she is.
Oh my god.
She's like, I'm just gonna tie you up over here and put tape over the mask that you're wearing. So funny. Okay, so she asks, "Oh, Clint, what kind of hell have you gotten us into?" And here we are. So she followed him to Mad before she got the tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, he saved, but we don't know how they're going to get them both out of there with the tape. And that's part 2, entitled Operation Eucrita, part 2. The tape.
Operation Gibbet.
Eucrita. That's it. So if you enjoyed this and would like to see the sequel, I would be more than happy to be part of that.
Oh yes. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see the sequel.
Yeah. I didn't have any idea how much I would make fun of it. I'm really excited about this series, but I found myself kind of teasing it a bit.
Oh no, I feel like you showed a lot of respect for it though too. So I feel like you walked the line pretty well.
Thank you.
The beautiful thing about comics is that it is ridiculous. And you have to enjoy the ridiculousness.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to laugh at the ridiculousness. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
The comics that take themselves too seriously are the ones that are just not good.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. This is people wearing tights and masks, folks.
They're supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun. And if wearing tights and wearing masks is not fun, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right? Okay, cheers to that. We did it!
We did it on my last drop.
Oh my god. Yep. I feel like that is the perfect ending to this. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We definitely have to do a second one.
Yeah.
There's a number 2 to this comic.
Mm-hmm.
I will stop recording for this one, but
okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.